Now, after we finished with the interface, now we'll start load the data into Power BI and start building basic visuals. As we said, in the Home tab, we have this group, which is the data group here. As we said, here, come on. Okay, here is the data group. In this group, we can load any kind of data source that we have. Okay, we can just click here, Excel Workbook, because we want to load Excel. So we can click select Excel file, or we can come to here, get data, and from here we can click Excel file, or even we can click here and we click on, by the way, here we have some data sources more than what we have in this like tools. Okay, we have more data sources that we can load data from, but we can click on get data and click more, or just click the icon, and we'll have this window, and from here we have even much more data sources that we can select from. Okay, for now we are going to just click on Excel Workbook and connect. Now we can select any workbook that we want to work on. Let's say order fact, and because XLS, so it is Excel. Open, and what we'll do, we'll start connecting Power BI with the data source, and then it's going to load what it has here, because we selected only one file, so we have only one file here. So we can click it, and we have like preview for what we have, the columns, some rows, and we can click load. We can also click transform data, but we use transform data when we want to get into Power Query. If we want to apply some data cleaning, some transformation that we want to apply to the data that we have in the file, we can just click transform to get into Power Query. But for now, we'll click just load. And now it will start loading the file, loading the data into Power BI, and it depends according to the file size. It can load fast, or it can take a couple of minutes if it is like huge or big. Now after loading the file data into Power BI, we have here the table that we loaded, the file, which is a table that we loaded, and also we have the columns that are inside the table. We can select anyone and we can start creating visuals. Let's select another Excel file. Click Excel file, and let's select Superstore and open. For now, it is going to connect it again to the new file that we selected. Now we have all these. What are these? These are sheets inside that file. We have one file, but we have different sheets. So now we got all the sheets that were inside the file. We can select the sheets that we want to load and ignore the ones that we don't want. Okay, let's select them all and just ignore product because we don't want it. And the same thing, we can load it directly, or we can transfer data to go to Power Query to apply cleaning and blah blah. Okay, so, and we can also select any one of them, and we can have like a preview of what data do we have in each file or in each table. Let's click load. Now it will start to load one by one. The smallest will be loaded faster, while the biggest will take a little bit more time. They are all loaded. So each one of these is a sheet in that file that we selected, in that Excel file that we selected. Now we'll start build basic visuals. Let's build the sales visuals, explaining like the sales according to or for different subcategories. Okay, so the sales are okay. Let's first select any visual. Of course, I will take each visual alone and we explain it in more details. When do we use it, how do we use it, and how to change it. But for now, just to have introduction or to have an overview about how we can load it. So we selected the visual, and when we click it, we can go to the visualization, and down here we can add data to x-axis, y-axis. Of course, x-axis, y-axis, and legend will be like different. Will be sometimes we have fewer fields, sometimes we have more fields according to the visual that we select. But for now, because it is bar chart, so we have x-axis, y-axis, and legend. And of course, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Okay. So we want sales, as we said, we want sales. So here we want sales to be in the x-axis, and we want subcategories to be in the y-axis. So we can click subcategories and drag it to y-axis only, and it will start to load. And then yeah, we want subcategories, not subcategories IDs. So let's again subcategory, not the ID. Okay, as you can see here, we have this subcategory, the sales per subcategory, and we can of course make it bigger. We can click here to make it expanded to further focus mode, and we can see here the highest categories, subcategories in sales, and here we have the sales from 0 to 30 million, and we can see the difference in sales, which one is highest, which one. This is the power of charts or visuals. Okay, can explain everything fast and easy. Okay, let's select another one, which is do not chart. Okay, and since we select another chart, we can see that the fields that we have are different. We have the legend, value, and data. We don't have x-axis, y-axis, because for each chart or for each visual, there are specific fields that we can add data to. The values always will be numeric values, like profit. We can just get profit, drag profit into values, and the legend are the categorical data. We can make it for categories and drag category and put it in the legend, and you can have see the lead. We can make it bigger by focus mode. And now, as you can see here, we have for furniture, office supplies, and technology, and we have blank. That means there is no data in this field or in this category. So we want to filter the blank one. We can go to filter band, click to expand it or minimize it, and then come to category, click, and we can select the ones that we want to show. We want to show furniture, office supplies, and technology. We don't want to show blank. And see, this is how we can load data, how we can create a chart, how we can add data to the chart, and how we can filter. This is like in brief.